Now at present this untitled page has a solitary div at the top with some informative placeholder text that you can, of course, delete. I'll leave it for the moment. Additionally, it's shaded in green to indicate it is a layout div and has lined itself up conveniently in terms of its width with the grid, left and right. You'll also see up here, alongside the doc name, that Dreamweaver has automatically created these 3 small files. The Fluid Grid CSS file we named a moment ago, and 2 others, one called Boilerplate CSS, and one called respond.min.js. Now whatever you do, don't delete these. Without them, the Fluid Grid layout would collapse. Just for your information, let me tell you the Boilerplate CSS file is an adapted version of the open source HTML5 boilerplate, i.e. it's an OS style sheet that contains within it a number of starting point styles, so that the site worked on has a cross-browser and device consistent look. And as I mentioned earlier on, the CSS file we named as Fluid Grid is the CSS file that contains the media queries that get embedded, as I mentioned earlier. Finally, the last file is a JavaScript file called respond.min.js. This is a minified version of some JavaScript that ensures, or closely ensures anyway, that older browsers such as Internet Explorer can understand the media queries and can then present the website pages as closely as possible to match the way it looks in the latest versions of the browsers. So, we're all set up. Let's save this. I'll go to File, and of course I can just hit Save. But let me encourage you to choose Save All, so that as you progress with the site creation and you possibly make changes to the main document and CSS, then hitting Save All means you won't see that pop-up message when you want to preview your design so far in a browser. You won't see the message saying you have to save these CSS files too. Now it would be good if there was a default shortcut, but there isn't. I suppose you could set one up. Anyway, I'll now go back up to File and then run down to Save this time, because I want to name my file something other than Untitled. I'll name my file Index, of course, as it's my home page, and I'll click Save. Now admit it, you thought you'd be done, didn't you? Well, not quite. You're now asked to place these 2 dependent files looked at a moment ago in a specific location of your choice. I want to save them to the Styles folder previously set up. You might need to navigate to this if necessary. Seeing as we are here already, I'll simply go down and click on Copy. Okay, now we do seem to have a little bit of a problem. We now have all our files saved into the Styles folder. Well, I don't really want my index page in there, just those other files. So, no problem, I'll select it and drag it up to relocate it in the site directory route. And there we go. I just need to accept the link update, or it'll collapse. And once done, well, we are all done. And that's what we do when we want to set up a Fluid Grid layout.